The sun is beginning to set on this intense, deep, and hopefully transformative holiest day of the year. In an hour and a little bit more, we will walk out of the doors of this sanctuary, this cocoon of spiritual community and searching to the world as it is. I don't know what has changed in the last day when it comes to the news. I hope and pray we have all changed in the way we might encounter the broken world outside. I've been hearing the echo of Dr. Martin Luther King's words as he concluded the march from Selma to Montgomery on the steps of the state capitol on March 25th, 1965. He famously preached, I'm never going to be able to speak the way he speaks, so you'll just bear with me. I know you're asking today, how long will it take? Somebody's asking, when will the radiant star of hope be plunged against the nocturnal bosom of this lonely night? How long will justice be crucified and truth bear it? I come to say to you this afternoon, however difficult the moment, however frustrating the hour, it will not be long, because truth crushed to earth will rise again. How long? Not long. Right? You don't know that one? How long? See, even when they write the speech, they have the things that they'll say, and it'll say, yes, sir, because people in the kahal were repeating back to them, Jews don't do that. So you'll have to play your part. Or he asked, how long? Not long. Again, he asked it, how long? Not long. Over and over again in the speech. And now he was a preacher, and I chuckle in thinking about what the Jewish version of this was. Even in a kahal like ours, filled with people, everyone stays quiet. Once I got to preach in a Baptist church, it was very exciting because people actually give you some feedback. But to the question, how long, and his answer, not long, what does our tradition say to the urgency of the hour and the brokenness of the world and the belief that God's will of peace and harmony, justice and dignity will reign? It's a story, of course, in the Talmud, a story that really happens to love, so I feel particularly moved to share it today. Rabbi Yehoshua ben Hananiah was once traveling and met a child at a crossroads. He asked him, which is the way to the town? The boy replied, this way is short and long, and that way is long and short. Rabbi Yehoshua took the short and long way. He reached the town quickly, but found his path blocked by gardens and orchards, so he retraced his steps and returned to the boy. He said, my son, did you not tell me that this was the short way? The boy replied, did I not also tell you that it is long? The Jewish version to the urgency of getting to our destination is a recognition that there are no shortcuts to doing the work. The world is broken. The Jewish people are broken. Israel is broken. America is broken. And we are all devastated. But we know that the world we dream of, we can't bypass the work to make it so. It may be a long road. How long, long, and short. Our God is marching on, and God's truth is marching on, and we are marching on that very long road. But redemption is still out there. Peace is still out there. Sometimes it's in here. Justice is still out there, and it starts with us. Hadavar talui elebi. Hadavar talui elebanu. It is dependent upon me. It is dependent upon us. Each of us has a role to play. Together, we have a role to play as a community. The Slonemer teaches, from the moment we are created, miyom briat adam v'hala, yesh lechol echad tafkid v'yi'ud miyuchad l'taken ba'olam hazeh. From the moment we are created, each one of us has a unique role and purpose in repairing the world, a unique mission, shlichut miyucheret, given to us from heaven. No one can fulfill the mission of the other to repair that which is required of another. Thus, even the least person has a unique mission that no one else is able to complete. Happy are they who, while in this world, discern their earthly mission and fulfill it properly. We each have a mission, and when I look out at the kahal, I think about the uniqueness of all the people I see in this room, how special each person is, what their unique gifts, what their work is in the world, what our unique gifts are, and how hard it is to figure that out. And yet, part of the work, part of getting on that road, part of marching on is actually doing what we have uniquely to do, not someone else. That, according to the Slonemer, is avodah zarah, avodah shezarlo, service that is strange to you. It's not your service. What is your service? And how can you fulfill it? We each have a mission. None of us is an accident, even if your parents told you so. We have a shlichut. We have a mission. And hopefully today, with all the prayer and all the song and all the longing and all the silence and the tears, hopefully today we got a little closer to what God put us on the earth to fulfill. And to echo also Joe's teaching, we'll never know the full story. We just try to approximate. It's an asymptotic effort to approximate what we think our role is, what we think our job is in the world. He continues, the master of Cobrin says, the worst thing is when a Jew feels that by him all right is just how it is. The problem is when we become so accustomed to the course of our lives that we make peace with how things are. At least regarding sins, we feel some regret and movement toward tshuva. But when we make peace with our situation, we can never turn from it. We get used to our situation and have no aspiration to change, to raise ourselves out of the routine of our lives. We must have an aspiration, no matter how we understand this obligation. An aspect of serving God is to aspire to attain the highest spiritual level we can. Please God, today, in these days that led up to today, we felt some of that regret. We confessed. We turned away from our sins, from our shame, from our embarrassment. And yet still, the Slonemer says that's not enough. It's not just saying, I did wrong, I'll do better. But having a perspective on the world to say, this is just the way it is the worst possible response to a broken world and a broken heart. To throw up our hands, to throw away the keys, and say, this is just the way it is. Acceptance is not a Jewish idea. Rabbi Soloveitchik taught, it is a positive commandment to be conscious of the existence of free choice. Please God, today we touched that fire burning in us to save our lives, our people, and to say that this world is not okay, but I'm going to do my darndest to give my drop in the ocean of what the change is necessary to make. That we awakened an aspiration for more love and more compassion, more audacity, more children's cries and laughter, more truth, more nobility, to be creative and imagine and dream and reach that world, reach for the heavens, reach for the world to come. The Kutzker Rebbe told this story. All souls descended a ladder from heaven to earth. Once they had arrived, the ladder is removed. But then the souls are bidden to move upward. They are called again and again. So they go about looking for the ladder. Some people give up. For how can one ascend to heaven without a ladder? There are, however, those souls that are resolved not to fail. Those are the stubborn ones. They throw themselves towards heaven but fall. They try repeatedly until they too give up the struggle. Yet the wise people maintain that since no ladder is to be found, there is no alternative. What we are called upon to do, we must do. Whatever may happen, we must continue to strive upward until God has mercy and draws us up. I think of the image of this story as like being in a trampoline park and everyone trying to ascend, jumping higher to the heavens, because the Kutzker's understanding is also we're drawn to the heavens. We're drawn to the heavens. The souls we have been given are attached to some sense of divinity that's all around, that's within us and above us and around us. And so we have this longing as individuals to rise up, to seek holiness, to seek peace, to seek redemption, to become the nobility in the divinity that God has placed in us. And that's what we can do. I hope it's more than all we can do, that jumping up, that striving will make a change, because the world desperately needs our voice. But if we give up, certainly the world will not change. And so the Kutzker says, despite the reality of not having a ladder, despite the reality of recognizing that heaven is far away, but we strive and we jump, and together we hold each other up. There's another story that says that there was a town and there was a beautiful bird that was high up, a beautiful bird that everyone wanted to touch. It was at the edge of heaven. And so the town gathered together and people started to make a big pyramid to try to reach that bird. And all of a sudden, one person in the bottom pulled out. And of course, the pyramid started to collapse. And the bird flew away. We must be the pyramid. We must be the ones who build on to each other. We must strive for the heavens. We must take ourselves as a community and seek together. I don't know what the bird represents in our life, whether it's freedom or justice or redemption or peace, hopefully all of the above. But we can't do it alone, and together we have the power to seek and to serve, to try to reach to the heavens. On Monday, I was called by a family in the community to say that someone in their family was about to leave this world, and I asked if they wanted to do the vidui, the confession. And so I made my way to be at the bedside of this person who was not responsive, was just quiet in their bed with a family around those that could be there. And as I recited the confession, the ending of the confession is exactly the end of Yom Kippur, with the Shema and Adonai Hu Elohim. The same experience of saying goodbye to someone in life is what we say at the end of Yom Kippur. The difference is that person, although she's still alive, when it is her time, she will leave this world. But we, at the end of Yom Kippur, when we affirm those words, we say them to live, to leave this room, to leave this sanctuary, to leave this cocoon of spiritual searching, to live and to dream and to stretch. It's been 5,786 days, kind of, since human beings were created. And since that time, human beings have longed to live and to have a tikkun and go back to that Garden of Eden, Gan Eden. And the Jewish people have been around for nearly 4,000 years, desirous for transformation, for that perfect world, for holiness. And America has been around for 250 years, striving for a more perfect union in which these truths we hold to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, will someday soon be realized. The state of Israel has been around for 77 years, and it dreamed to build a country for the benefit of all its inhabitants and be based on freedom, justice, and peace as envisioned by the prophets of Israel, as it says in its declaration. 200 years ago, B'nai Jeshurun was established with its own dreams and aspirations, and amongst all the challenges of this world, we are still here, praying, searching, building, marching, faithing on, living on. It is true that all these dreams have yet to be realized. How long? I don't know how long, but it will be a short, long road. We don't have a ladder to get there, but we are called upon to do what we must do. We each have a mission. We collectively have a mission. Let us reach high. Let us keep dreaming. Let us not cede our role. Let us not cede our Judaism. Today is not yesterday. Tomorrow is not today. Let us have the strength, the courage, the resilience, and the love to make 5786 one step closer to that long, short road.